Conservative commentator Glenn Beck of The Blaze says it's time for Bob Iger to get a lawsuit against him. We're taking a look at that claim and deciding, is there merit to that? Is Disney in danger yet again of more legal action, and this time from shareholders? It's the kind of video you don't want to miss, and it's fresh out the oven starting right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They might not say that at Disney World anymore because of gendered language, but we believe in it here on this channel. We believe in welcoming each and every one of you each and every time you decide to click right here. If you want to drop a like, well, you're welcome to do so, but we'll tell you the news no matter what. And we're starting today with, well, the situation of Glenn Beck, the commentator, very conservative, but declaring that Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, should be under a class action lawsuit. Wowza. We've covered this in the past with the PBD podcast in terms of figuring out how much does the general audience out there, the mainstream, understand about what is going wrong with Disney. But today, we're diving into this claim about whether or not Bob Iger should be actually sued for his mismanagement, allegedly, of the company. Folks, you don't want to miss it. We're bringing the panel in right now.
I have to tell you, I don't know anything really about the law, but if I were a shareholder, I would want a class action suit against Bob Iger.
All right, now we're going to listen and see why Glenn Beck says that there should be a class action lawsuit. Folks, we're not here to take the side of Glenn Beck. We're not here to shill on behalf of any podcast, PBD, or The Blaze, or anything else. We're not a political channel. What we are here to do, though, is when this begins to rise to such a level that either the left or the right begins to talk about class action lawsuits as part of their mainstream coverage of Disney, then it's like, well, now, wait a minute. What has happened in our culture that Disney has dropped so far that now this is part of just a normal conversation, at least with conservatives, and perhaps on the left you would get the absolute opposite. But Disney has put themselves in such a partisan position. And Jonas, to go back to what you were saying earlier about the debate about, Ron DeSantis and Disney and all of that. Listen, folks, if Disney is in a debate, a political debate, Disney lost already. When Disney is in the same sentence as politics, Disney has failed strategically.
Yes.
The job of Disney is to ingratiate themselves with the widest swath of people possible. Right. Disney's job is to make you trust them with your kids.
I'll just go ahead and say the quiet part out loud. When something is apolitical, it is political in the current system. To be apolitical is to go against communism and Marxism, and therefore it is a political statement to not.
Wait a minute. Jonas, are you saying that there is a contingent of people out there who will not allow you to be non-political or apolitical?
Correct.
That is seen
Correct.
as political in itself.
That is the entire thing that forced Bob Chapek to make the statements that he made that ultimately got them into this situation. Disney did not weigh in on a bedroom issue, and the people within the company, I think those people think that they were doing something heroic by standing up for someone that they didn't really understand what they were saying. They said, you know what? We need to make a stand for LGBTQIA issues by making sure that third graders in elementary school, that teachers tell them everything. A government employee
because silence is violence.
Exactly.
If you do not say something, that's as bad as saying something wrong. Right. And that is why Bud Light did what it did. That is why Gillette did what it did. That is why all these companies across the board, and off of what Spencer said earlier, the proof is in the pudding in the box office. The proof is in that people are turning away from Disney in droves. It's not just us. It's not just the Christian conservatives. It's everybody.
Yep.
They're like, we're good with this. We're no longer interested in having our children exposed to the possibility of, oral copulation in the middle of our movie.
Right. As state curriculum. Yeah, state curriculum.
I thought we were going to state curriculums.
It's the rise of the Disney adult.
It's the same difference. It's all coming from the same place.
Disney content.
Right. So Tom is exactly right, though. Tom, what you're saying is that families have largely rejected the idea that when I give you my kids and they go to the government school, that you're going to sneak in propaganda to my child that should be the purview of my decisions as a parent on what they're going to know and when they're going to know it. And also at the same time, that families have rejected largely the idea that Disney is going to sneak that material into their homes, not via the front door, which, by the way, if somebody came to your front door and said, I have a not so secret agenda, may I come in and teach your child? That person would be in danger. But Disney isn't in danger because Disney sends it through the wires and airlessly through the Wi-Fi straight into your children's
propaganda
eyeballs.
laundering.
Yes, and so families have rejected it on both sides, private and public.
And on the school front, they can't even pretend that there's even the straight versions of those books available, right? Because I would have known, I would have stolen them when I was in high school.
Yeah, right? That's a really good point.
Somebody go check Tom's old locker right now. There's grave fears lie inside.
That's why they're not there anymore.
Now,
there's so many boxes of things they still haven't broken in.
We've obviously come a very long way as far as the culture being aware of this. The entire reason that I started a YouTube channel, not that Park Place, not the pro channel, is because I wanted to make people more aware of what Disney was up to. And I did the Everything Woke series, and most of it was focused on Disney Junior because I just wanted that label out there so everyone can see, guys, you can't tell me this is not in here. I've literally played the clip and labeled it for you. Here is what Disney is doing. And that's one of the reasons that channel kind of went by the wayside, is everybody knows what Disney is up to now. So no one can say the entire argument that says no one is doing this in children's content, that's gone. So I'm not saying the Everything Woke channel won't be coming back. In fact, it will, if I can get myself if I can get that Park Place on its feet.
We've offered to clone Jonas. He has denied it repeatedly.
Darn it, Jonas.
He says he needs to vet me first before he'll allow me to clone him. I don't know what it's about, but anyway.
Something Obi-Wan Camino something.
Well, let's finish this out.
1 million on reserve.
That's right. Let's finish this out, and then, folks, we do have some big time topics coming up. Hang tight, but I want to finish this out, and I want us to determine: do we think there's the possibility of some sort of legal action against Bob Iger?
Because Bob is the reason it started. When I was at ABC, your name tags, this is again, brought 2008, your name tag had the rainbow on it. Okay.
Everybody's,
okay, had a rainbow on it. And that was just to support LGBTQ. Okay, fine. But to me, that said, the company is ideological, and it will protect its own ideology. A news company should not have ideology other than the pursuit of truth. Let the chips fall where they may. Disney, it's very hard to, run a creative company and not have people that live different lifestyles. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But you cannot build your company and have the people that have a different lifestyle than your audience we're going to tell our story. No, you are here to tell the story that our audiences want to hear. That was the number one brand maybe of all time.
We're going to stop there. What I would say to this is that Disney is in a terrible Chinese finger trap of their own making. From the left, they want Disney to go farther. From the right has left the company, exited Disney to the point that it's now part of regular discourse on major podcasts such as PBD. You've got major conservative pundits now talking about Disney as if they are part of the political opposition. And on the left, again, they're not happy with where Disney's at. They want them to go farther and farther. So I don't see a winning strategy here. But panel, what do you think about this idea that, that shareholders might rise up in a revolution against Bob Iger with a class action lawsuit because Iger sent the company into this divisive position?
I'd say I feel like it's a hard sell. Like I get the initiative and I would fully support it. What are the legal, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all of the information, but what can you attack them on? That's the only thing I'd be concerned about, is you don't want to go, filing a flimsy lawsuit that is easily defeatable. So then Disney gets another win in the headlines, right? Going, oh, conservatives tried to take us down, but we shut down that lawsuit. It was no merit. And it's like, well, if you were smarter about it, maybe it did. That's what I'm concerned about. But I also like the idea that, what he said brings me back to oh my gosh, what's his name? Glenn something, the comic book shop owner who
Yeah, I know
of
which
New
one you
Haven
mean.
Comics, who coined the term "cancel pigs" with Mark Millar a couple weeks ago. Glenn O'Leary, that's his name. He had the same philosophy about creators nowadays, right? Where they said if you're going to have a different lifestyle, but you can't make the story about your story, and that's what Glenn said. Glenn said all these new writers, they're writing, what if I was Captain America? No, we don't care about what if you were Captain America. What if Steve Rogers was Captain America? What would Steve Rogers do in this situation? Not what would, liberal arts major number 702 do in this situation. And I think that is like such a core beat to all of this. I know it's a diversion from the lawsuit, but yeah.
No, I think it's well said, and there has to be some, folks out there have to be wary about jumping on this ship of going to a lawsuit, because whatever you do, you want to be able to win it. And I think you're right. I think it's a situation where Disney might die by 1,000 paper cuts, and at least 700 of those are from Disney.
Not from dollars, though.
Yes, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to frivolously go after Disney in a way that would
aren't they already facing a few lawsuits?
Every day.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean from like some of the shareholders from that one thing.
You're talking about TSG?
I think that's the one I'm thinking of from a few months back. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if anybody has any grounds for any kind of lawsuit here, it ain't going to be any of the customers. Unfortunately, it ain't going to be anybody but people that are involved in the shareholder side of things.
Wait a minute, Tom. I bought an item on Disney Starlight Valley. Is that the name of the game? I bought an item on that, and it didn't download right. I'm filing a lawsuit, I tell you.
Yeah. So, like, unfortunately,
you will be the man to take down Disney.
There could have been a point where, like, after Lightyear, if like a bunch of people wanted to get together to make a point, but I think you guys are right. I think it would have been twisted into some political thing where it's just some right-wing conspiracy coming after Disney, and they're trying to sue people, blah, blah. Yeah, the Walt-Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And so, yeah, at this point, I think the only ones who have any grounds anywhere would be, on the investor side of things, and I don't think any shareholders outside of the ones that have already filed their lawsuits are going to go anywhere yet. I think a lot of people are kicking back and waiting to see what Nelson Peltz is going to do, and I don't know if we're going to discuss that at all, so I don't want to get too deep into that yet.
Well, Peltz is going to come up on Thursday for sure, but I do want to say, folks, disclaimer, we have to hop to another topic, but we're not telling anyone out there to take any kind of action against Disney. We're not supporting it. We're not denying it. We're taking no position whatsoever on it. We're just analyzing the news, opinionated analysis here as we editorialize on what's been going on. And it's a wrap. Put it in the can. Excellent as always. A video of pure gold. And of course, electrified by you, the audience. You provide the gigawatts. So to each and every one of you out there, thank you personally. Thank you for watching the video. Folks, on your way out, if you would not mind, like, share, subscribe, stick this thing on your favorite social medias, and when you click it, you do stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. And folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, as we always say here, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.